Hello and welcome. My name is Nkosana Khoda. On today's episode of Fraud Friday, we will be talking about phishing. Fraud has been on the rise for many years now. As we continue to digitize more and more, fraud numbers have continued to go up. Today, we have Karen Michelson, Senior Manager at Standard Bank. Hey Karen, how are you?
Hey Nkosana, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So to get us started, what is phishing?
So phishing is a form of an email coming from a fraudster that will be impersonating a legitimate third party, so a corporation of some kind, or even possibly someone that you know. And ultimately what phishing is trying to do is trying for you to give away your digital information, preferably digital banking information, or even access to your device so that they can take that device over and commit fraud. Now there's two types of phishing that happen. So you're either going to get a request saying, please click on this link. And when you click on the link, it takes you to a spoofed website. A spoofed website looks and feels like a legitimate website, but you are fooled into thinking you now need to give away your information. So it'll ask you to log in and give you your login information. Or I need your ID number to do X, Y, and Z. You're entering a competition. But actually it's taking this information, or the fraudster behind this is taking this information to commit fraud on your digital banking profile. The other type is where they're asking you to open an attachment. By opening that attachment, you deploy malware. So malware is malicious software. You won't notice anything per se on the front end as the user of that device, but now what's happening is that malware actually starts recording your keystrokes, and it's waiting for you to log on to some form of internet banking to start recording your digital banking information. And as you are logging in, the fraudster is then logging in literally just seconds after you to then commit the fraud. The other type, besides clicking on a link and going to a spoofed website, is also you click on a link to get information. We've seen that with COVID related scams, whereby you are clicking on a link to get more information around COVID, etc. And of course, everyone was clicking on that, but not really recognizing who that information was coming from. And when you click on that link again, malware gets deployed on your machine, and that we call it keylogging software. It's basically logging your keystrokes as you are busy typing away, working away, waiting for the opportunity of where you are going to log into something where fraudsters can then commit fraud.
You know, as you were talking, I was thinking back to when my mother told me she just got an email and they said she's just won 100,000 rands, but then they want her to put in the details. Is that also another form of phishing?
Definitely a form of phishing. And that's the thing. So fraudsters will work on the psychology of being a human being. They're either going to tell you there's something seriously wrong and you need to log in to do X, Y, Z, so a sense of urgency, or they're going to tell you there's something that you could get out of this. And the tagline from a fraud perspective is, if it's too good to be true, it's not legit, right?
Yeah.
And it's very important to know, so have you actually entered some competitions before? Or are you expecting information from this third party? And if you're not, it's probably not legitimate. And I just really hope your mom didn't click on that link.
No, luckily she didn't.
Good. Because a lot of the time people just don't think. They think, oh wow, I've just got myself 100,000.
It's my lucky day.
And it's not legit. We see it in Standard Bank, UCount rewards. Customers receive emailers that look and feel very much like UCount saying, hey, you've got 10,000 UCount rewards. We want to transfer it to your credit card. Click on this link. You click on the link. It takes you to what looks and feels like the internet banking website. And meantime, fraudsters are busy recording as you're typing away. And you're thinking, great, I'm getting 10,000 Rand into my credit card. Yet you haven't even checked what is your UCount balance. Is this something that would transpire? Are you expecting this? And also Standard Bank would never ask you to log into internet banking in order to move money across from an email perspective.
Any tips you would give to Standard Bank clients?
Yeah, definitely. So the first thing is to be very vigilant about these emails. See if it's from someone that you know, even though it might say at Standard Bank or at from a domain you're expecting. So the domain is after the at sign. see the name in front of that at. Is it someone that you know? If it's JoeSoap1234, it's probably not legitimate. Check the tagline. You know, companies change their logos regularly, every 3 years approximately. If the tagline is the old tagline, it's probably not a legitimate email. If they're asking you to log in anywhere, probably not a legitimate email. Check the URL. So you can hover over the URL and you'll see if it says it's from HTTPS or HTTP. HTTPS is telling us it's a secure URL following security protocol of, you know, www being internet. HTTP, not so kosher. Don't go in there. It's probably not legit. And then on top of that, if customers really are still looking at that, not too sure, report all unsolicited mails associated to Standard Bank to phishing@standardbank.coza, or they can call our fraud line on 0800 020 600 to say, hey, I received this email, I've clicked on it, or maybe I've just opened it, I'm not too sure what's happened. So we can also check their digital profile and if there's any, you know, suspicious activity happening from that perspective. But ultimately, it's around being vigilant. Where are you sharing your email address? Who are you sharing your email address to? And also the key critical component is don't have the same email address that you use for internet banking for anything else. You know, if I could tell anyone, keep your internet banking very much an island on its own.
Yeah.
And don't share, you know, that email address anywhere else. Don't have it for Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you get your RSVPs, or, you know, I'm, you know, registered to hear about Joburg stuff, etc. Have that completely segregated, so that from that perspective, if your one email address gets compromised, it's probably going to be compromised. We've seen with data breaches, etc. Because it's being shared across the internet banking world, it's fine. Your internet banking is still safe. Keep your internet banking email address very safe and secure and segregated. And also, you know, for customers that maybe have small businesses, not, you know, big corporations, also just try and keep your corporation or business email address very separate from your social activity. So if that's going to be linked to your internet banking for your business, cool, but don't share that email address with other social, you know, interactions that are happening on the internet. Try and keep it as segregated as possible. That would be my biggest tip, really.
Wow, I have learned so much. Thank you so much, Karen, for your time. Next time on Fraud Friday, we'll be talking about social engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Nkosana Khoda. Thank you.